Hello, KTM lovers and adventure fans. How are you all doing? We know exactly where the demand for adventure touring motorcycles has reached in the European and North American markets right now. This is currently the most important market segment. And just when the market is this hot, KTM has made a massive move. Finally, that legendary name from 20 years ago is returning, and that is the KTM 990 Adventure. We all assumed that, after the arrival of the 2024 990 Duke, a 990 Adventure model would follow. Just an engine swap, that's it. But no, KTM has brought a game-changer here. The bike isn't just getting an engine swap, rather, it's coming to the market with a completely new clean sheet design. And for this, KTM has created a completely new dedicated chassis for the bike, accompanied by new bodywork, and even the fuel tank layout has been completely reimagined. This proves that KTM is extremely serious about their adventure strategy. Alright, let's talk about the bike's looks. For those of you who have ridden the 790 and 890 Adventure, you shouldn't have any questions about their all-round capabilities, because those two bikes were excellent, but there was a bit of controversy regarding their styling, wasn't there? But with this new 990 Adventure, KTM has answered that criticism. In the new design, those visual clashes have largely been resolved. The look is now much more attractive, pointing significantly towards KTM's Dakar Rally history. The most interesting part of this is the tank layout. Although this increases the bulk slightly in the traditional tank area, the bike now looks much more beautiful and proportional. And since the tanks still hug the engine from both sides, it remains much more compact compared to single-tank bikes. This change has made the bike look even smarter. Now, let's move to the engine sector, and for this bike, KTM is relying on that new LC8C engine, although the name is just like the 990 Duke. But make no mistake, this is a 947cc twin engine. Even though the name is LC8C, like the 790 or 890, it is actually a completely new design. Both the bore and stroke are larger than the previous engine. Almost every major internal component has been changed. In the 990 Duke, this engine produces up to 121 horsepower. But on an adventure bike, counting only peak horsepower doesn't work. Here you need a spread of torque. So, for the 990 Adventure, the engine tuning might be slightly detuned, sacrificing some horsepower to gain a more powerful torque curve or a wider torque range. However, there's nothing to worry about, because compared to the current 890 Adventure's 103 horsepower, this will definitely be a massive upgrade. And with this much power, more cooling is required. For that, KTM has been clever. They took an idea from the big brother, the 1390 Super Adventure, and split the radiator into two parts. This split radiator design might make the bike slightly wider, but it will significantly improve cooling performance, because a robust cooling system is essential for riding on tough terrains. So, let's talk about the 990 Adventure's chassis. Although the chassis of the 990 Adventure shares some similarities with the basic layout of the 990 Duke, it is dedicated specifically for adventure. In previous KTM bikes, we usually saw round steel tubes, but it seems that oval section steel tubing has been used in the main frame of this new bike. As a result, the bike will be stronger and sturdier. Look at the rear section. The new subframe design is made of cast aluminum. This will make the rear of the bike much slimmer than before and also save weight. This is exactly the kind of chassis needed for a proper off-road machine. As for the suspension and braking system, the bike features quite familiar components. Up front, there are WP upside-down forks, and the brakes use 4-pot calipers just like the current 890 Adventure. Although the swing arm is taken from the 990 Duke, the rear WP shock has now been mounted on a new rising rate shock linkage. And the most important thing is, this bike will come in at least two forms, a base model and an R variant. And to ensure adventure capability, both will feature 21-inch front and 18-inch rear wheels, meaning there is no compromise on off-roading. Now, let's talk about a wow factor. When you sit on the bike, you will have a huge color screen in front of you. It looks exactly like an iPad, and it is set vertically. This is called portrait orientation. Have you ever wondered why such a display is needed on an adventure bike? The reason is, this vertical layout is perfect for detailed map-based navigation systems. It will likely be able to link your phone and show features like Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Interestingly, the KTM 1390 Super Adventure is also expected to feature the same type of display. In the spy shots, a transparent white plastic box was seen above the rear shock. Its underside is cut in a way to leave room for suspension compression. This isn't a standard battery box. This could definitely be an additional under-seat fuel tank. Just like Dakar racing bikes, such as the 450 Rally Replica, have an extra tank at the rear, this is exactly that concept. This triple tank setup will help reduce the bulk of the front-side mounted tanks without reducing your fuel capacity. This is a great, cool link to KTM's racing heritage. And yes, the signature vertically split headlight of the previous 890 Adventure is likely changing. Judging by the new fairing design, it seems a much smaller and cleaner headlight will be used. This makes the bike look even sharper now. Friends, this new 990 Adventure is not just a new model. It is the result of long-term hard work by the engineers at Mattighofen and a huge gift for adventure lovers. And adventure touring is now at the center of KTM's core strategy. Although it is currently in its final development phase, we likely won't see series production before the spring of 2027. But I hope this wait won't be in vain for adventure lovers. With a new chassis, new design, hints of Dakar, and the power of the LC8C engine, the 990 Adventure is truly bringing a new glory to the adventure bike map. So, are you ready for this new ride? Let me know in the comments. That's all for today. See you in the next video, and thanks for watching.